Hello and welcome to the Darkest Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be discussing my Ego T6 42-inch tractor. I've done a few videos the last couple days over its bad performance around cutting my grass. You can go and look at those videos if you like in my playlist below. But to sum it up, I was able to resolve the issue going through the Ego process, or talking to the representative from Ego, calling their 1-800 number. I got it written down here somewhere. I called their 1-800 number. I explained to them what was going on. It wasn't cutting the grass all that well. I also linked my YouTube videos to the rep so they could watch my YouTube videos to see where I was coming from. They replied that, I've been doing this a long time. I've been working for Ego a long time, and this is the first time we've had a person call us on blade issues within the first 90 days. He's like, yeah, we do have some complaints from them that, within 9 months to, almost to the year part, that people were like, well, geez, these blades seem to be on the softer end of things. He says, we will acknowledge that. He said, it's because of the way their tractor is. It's a lighter material, and sometimes that lighter material that they're using doesn't hold the edge that well. But for the first 90 days, the rep was like, yeah, we got kind of like you call us, you've owned it less than 90 days, we'll make this right. We don't have to escalate it to a person. We've just got to, hear what's going on so that we can troubleshoot it. Now, while I was on the phone, there's a couple of things that I learned. Is when you go to the Ego Connect app for your phone, if you go through that process to set your rig up through the app, that app is not hooked into their system yet. So when I put my ticket in and explain my problem through the app, they have no way of seeing that information currently right now. Because I was like, oh, look, just go to the app and, here's my email address, go look at my account. And he's like, yeah, that doesn't really work right now. They haven't hooked it in. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to try to troubleshoot your tractor with them, you need to call their 1-800 number and talk to a rep directly. Now, the gentleman was very friendly, but he did not wish to talk to me about my problem until I had all the serial numbers given to him. So I had to go out to the barn. I had to pull each battery out, read the serial number off each battery. I had to read the serial number off the charging unit and the sliding component that goes into that, and make sure that the serial number on the tractor paired up with what they had on record. So I guess they did have the fact that I owned the tractor. They were able to secure that information, but the meat and potato information that I had put into the app, that just is in limbo, I guess. So long story short, they basically agreed that I got a bad set of blades. They're like, yeah, we don't get many people calling us on day one telling us that this thing won't cut their grass. And it is really clear that whatever's going on with the tractor is at the blade level, because we did talk about the various speeds that I tried cutting at. I guess when they watched my video, they're like, oh, you were pretty thorough. You explained it very well. And it definitely, they believed it was the blades. So they're going to mail me those blades. I'll get them within 5 to 10 business days. Now, that just gives me the opportunity to do a video on swapping them out, right? Now, I do want to point out that this morning I went outside with my little rasp. I got a little filing rasp that I use for my chainsaw that allows me to sharpen my chainsaw blades. Now, I went underneath the tractor this morning and kind of did some rasping to see if I could put an edge on those current blades. I was, in a way of like thinking to myself, I was working with aluminum. Normally when you go to sharpen a lawnmower blade, you kind of use an electric grinder to do it because they're kind of thick, bulky, and it requires a lot of, effort. I will tell you right now, I know I have a blade issue when I can sharpen the blade with this little rasp and do it in less than 5 minutes. I was able to put an edge on the current blades in less than 5 minutes with a little rasp. That just tells you how soft the metal is. That tells you there's something seriously wrong with the blades that I have. When I talked to him, the ego person, and said, look, you were saying that people kind of complain within the 8 or 9 months part about the blades. And he's like, yeah, they are on the softer side. They are on they're a material that doesn't have, or different, it can't be, for what I understood, it can't be too heavy because of the way their tractor is designed. So it's going to be a lighter material. And when you go lighter material, sometimes that material can be soft. Now, I did have a YouTuber, a subscriber, tell me that they've got the push one, and they're always having to sharpen their blades. That, like every other mow on the push mower, that they have to kick the thing over and sharpen the blades. So they're even saying that they see that the blades are on the softer side. Now, I did ask, well, can I just get a third-party blade for it? Like a blade that's got a beefier, steel or something that's a little bit more firm. And they said no. They said the blades are designed for this tractor, and they only recommend using the blades that Ego manufactures for this tractor, and that there's no other blades that match their design for this tractor. So if you're dealing with blades for Ego, then you've got to go with their blades, and you're going to have to cross your fingers to hope that you get a good set and you're not having to sharpen them all the time. But based on the information that I got back, normally you get 8 or 9 months before you start seeing some folding, and after that, that's on you. It's a wearable part, I guess. So this tractor, they recommend you replacing the blades every year, and I can see why. Because they're a softer metal. They're just like, just slap another blade. I don't know how expensive the blades are. I mean, if we're talking $20, that's no big deal. I mean, my John Deere blades, I think all day long were $28 a pair. So you're not talking a lot of money to slap them in. But with John Deere, I had gone years and years and years before I had to swap those out, or even consider having to put an edge on them. And we're talking, I've only owned this tractor on day one, and I'm like already thinking, oh geez, I'm gonna have to be under the thing every 9 to 10 months, either trying to sharpen them or replacing them. I don't know. I mean, let's just see how it goes. But I wanted to say is, Ego treated me right. They were respectful. They understood my problem. They told me, you've owned it in less than 90 days. We're not going to give you that much problem. We don't want you to return it to the store. We're going to try to fix this, make it right. They're mailing me the blades. So I hope that helps you folks out there in YouTube land, that we just got a bad set of blades here, and I'm going to swap them out. We'll see how it goes. I'll do some future videos on it. I mean, I still recommend the tractor. I mean, even though I got a bad experience here, what are the odds, right? I mean, what are the odds that somebody who's featuring it on their YouTube channel out of the gate has a blade problem? You know what I mean? But let's hope I get the blades. Let's hope I get the new blades in. Let's hope that this doesn't become an ongoing problem with the tractor, right? All right. Well, thank you for joining me. And this has been the Tarkus Zone.